Are you in there?
I hope so.
You know the first 5 minutes what you told us.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck all that noise. I ain't doing that shit no more. We ain't getting paid no way, so. Yeah, I don't think it's a... Yeah, surprise.
Damn. And I bought that new car. Shit.
I don't think it's a problem, and I don't mean it in the derogatory way that it sounds when I say it, but I say bitch a lot in multiple different contexts. Like, people are complaining or, oh, you bitching, you know.
Yeah.
But also, and it's not like a female dog, you know what I'm saying? I don't use that.
We didn't even know that for a long time, did we?
Yeah.
Female dog, you know.
No.
It wasn't in our vernacular. We didn't
One
know
of
that
them
word.
words.
Yeah, who came up with that shit anyway? But, again, I don't think it's a problem because no one's complained, but I use it a lot.
Yet. It's an operative word, yet.
I use it a lot at work. And, again, it's not like a...
Work. Wait a minute. Let me think on that a bit. Work. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You remember that, yeah. It's not a female thing, so I'm not like, hey, bitch, you know, or whatever, to a lady. But if she's screwing something up, I'll tell her, hey, bitch, listen. Yeah. Or if, you know, and it's not universal, it's something. But I'll tell everybody, you know, if a guy at work screwing something, listen here, bitch.
In other words, that's just one of your words you like to use.
Yeah. I try not to use the F word a lot.
What?
Opened up with it.
Since when? This morning about 6?
Yesterday. Yeah. So they was talking something about, I forgot what they was talking about yesterday and at work. And
Your co-workers, you mean?
Yeah. And it didn't piss me off, but it rubbed me the wrong way because I didn't want to hear it. And
so it basically pissed you off, I guess.
Yeah.
So he bitched them.
Yeah, and I said, listen, bitch, I ain't here to hear any of that shit. I ain't got time for that. I'm got shit to do. I'm working, you know. You motherfuckers in here bitching about shit. I said, I ain't got time for all that. And then I walked out and then I forgot my key, so I had to walk back in.
Hey, sorry, y'all. Never mind.
And I walked back in and everybody was like,
he's come back to kill us all.
Is he really upset? And I was like, I was just playing. If you follow it up with, I was just playing, they're like, oh, cool. You know, that was a good. Are we still scared? Yeah. You know, should you be? Mm-hmm.
You're just not as on your guard as you was.
Right. Yeah. I was just kidding.
The HR lady just kind of takes a deep breath. And
Yeah.
says,
Yeah. She's like, whew, thank goodness. And luckily, we don't have an HR person, so.
Now there might be the issue.
That might be something y'all want to look into, especially with you.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm a problem. I think I'm a.
Well, nobody ever does.
Now that's a good point.
Until you walk in with a machine gun or something.
No. I ain't doing that. I ain't trying to harm nobody.
Yeah, yesterday he was fine. I don't know why he came in and killed everybody today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't dislike anybody enough to harm them. I just.
Well, I wish I could say that.
I will tell them directly, hey, you idiot.
Or bitch.
Yeah. Hey, bitch. Hey, bitch, idiot.
You know who I'm talking to, too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you.
It's
You know who you are.
I wouldn't say it's a problem. I think it's a
disease.
It's like a gift, I think.
Gift.
I can do it and people don't get alarmed by it. Or maybe they do and I just don't know that.
Well, that's what it is. They just keep up front, you know.
Yeah.
Deep down inside, they said, oh, shit, what's going to happen next?
What's that fool going to do now?
They did tell me, someone told me one day that a lot of the people at work are afraid to come talk to me if they made a mistake with one of my customers. And I said, really? And they were like, yeah, they'll be like, hey, will you go
talk to that big ugly fella?
And,
big fella in there. I ain't getting near him.
So I didn't even know that, but apparently it's been that way since about the third year I was there. And
I think you'll say third grade. I can't remember that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And I've been there for 12 years, so I was wondering why nobody was talking to me.
I think you may, I'm going out on a limb here, you may present yourself as slightly intimidating.
Just slightly.
Based on the size and the vocabulary and the
Right.
swagger, they're like, this big somebody's gonna kill me if I mess up.
Yeah, I can see that. And I tried to, once I, figured out, like, because I don't realize I'm as big as I am, until I get into, like, small spaces. And then
Well, you got a dog the same way.
Yeah.
He got a dog, 9-foot dog. It thinks he's a little lap dog.
Yeah.
He gets on me, he covers me slap up. You don't even know I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah. But once I realized, like, oh, okay, I can use this. And it's been that way for a long time. But I don't realize it initially, so then I have to, like, figure it out again every time. It's like not Benjamin Button. It's the... You know what I'm talking about?
Who the hell talking about Benjamin Button? I thought you guys be Benjamin Butthole. I said, who is that? You work with him too?
It's the thing where you don't...
Where you're age backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not that.
That's
It's like that, but not that.
Yeah.
what's that called? Degenerated, I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
reversal or something.
Where your discs don't line up or whatever. You know
The
what I'm
moon.
No. What? Yeah, it's like the dark side
Get
of
us
the
back
moon.
on the road, Earl.
Y'all know it's going to rain a lot next week.
Yeah.
Every day.
There we go. Here we go now.
Every day. We're supposed to get over 5 inches of rain next week. That's a lot of water.
They're going to measure that. And why are they going to measure it?
Well,
First of all, what we gonna do with it?
I'll be measuring it now. What I'm going to do with it, I'm going to put it in the lake. I think I'm going to take it all down to the lake.
Well, you don't have lake house no more.
No, that's why. I knew I was going to put a lot of water in it.
Okay. Well, if you happen...
You're going to get in your truck with this little 5 ounces of water you said, or whatever you said it was, 5 inches or whatever, and carry it down to the lake and pour it in, are you?
Yeah.
Well,
If you happen to be not doing anything next week, both of
well,
you.
apparently you're not going to be doing anything because you're going to be going to the lake pouring water
I'll be
in
watching
there.
it rain.
Yeah.
If you guys find yourself not busy, because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Tulsa. Cruise by my
You're gonna
house
be on Tulsa time.
and see if you can figure out why my yard's flooded and how to unflood it. Because it's going to flood.
We need to unflood your yard.
I thought
First of all, to get started, we got to flood it.
no,
We're going to flood it next
Okay,
week.
so Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, when it gets flooded up.
the Lord's got that part handled.
So me and you got to get in your truck with that 5 ounces of water, whatever the hell you said it was, and go to his house and pour it in there
No.
and make sure it's
sure it's
Make sure
flooded.
it's flooded.
Yeah, don't dump that shit in my yard. I'm going to have plenty.
So what we need, you're a well pumping kind of guy.
Oh,
we're gonna put
well
him.
pumping truck up
We're
there.
gonna put a 1.5 10 GPM pump and about 600 foot of hose, run it downhill.
Across the street to the neighbors.
Pump
Those
that.
little motherfuckers keep... nope. Oh, we're 8 minutes. We're good.
Oh.
They keep...
No, you just started off wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I said bitch 74 times in the first 4 minutes. So, not neighbors, but the people that live downhill from me, they keep blocking up the, what is it, where you got a drain pipe and where it comes out?
Storm drain.
Culvert.
Yeah, one of them. They keep blocking that shit up because it's flooding their yard. Well, I'm like, listen, you son of a bitch, it ain't my fault that you bought something downhill. I can't help it. The DOT or somebody with government authority put this shit in the middle of my yard, So I can't help it that you bought something that you didn't plan for.
If you had to guess, how many cubic foot of water do you have in your yard when it does flood?
Cubic feet.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because we're going to have to ask Earl what size hole we're going to have to dig.
Yeah.
His well pumping.
Yeah, we got
So that
to.
water can go down in that hole, but we want to make sure it's wide enough and deep enough so it don't get up to the top and flood again.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that hole's deep enough. And I don't know, you're going to have to call somebody probably at the city of Walhalla or something to ask them about how far down you can dig. Because if you go too far down, you might run into some German bones or something. Ain't that where Walhalla come from, Germany?
Yeah.
Valhalla.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings came over here and...
So if we can figure out how many cubic feet of water you got,
Yeah.
Earl can then calculate in his little brain about how far down deep we're gonna have to dig
Yeah.
to get this get this flood out of your yard.
Yeah, I don't think that was a knock on you, by the way. I don't think he said you had a little brain. It's just because your head's very, very small compared to ours.
I understand.
Yeah.
But he's right.
Oh.
It is little.
But I
If
think.
it was a bowling ball, it'd be like a 8-pounder.
Oh yeah,
It wouldn't be no 15-pounder.
No, that's a damn.
No, it'd be 8-pounder.
They put the bumpers up when you roll in.
Yeah. Little kids pick you up, throw it up like that right there.
I would bet that I have enough water in my yard when it floods to fill up a
Swimming pool.
44,000 gallon swimming pool.
So you think 44 gallons at least in your yard when it does flood?
No.
More than that?
44 gallons is way less. I have 44,000 gallons.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a deep hole.
Yeah, that's the
How
problem.
you know how many 1 gallon buckets you'd have to have?
44,000.
Somewhere along in there.
I thought about going out there one day with a 5-gallon bucket and just trying to, hoist it in the road. And I did it twice, and I was like, "This is bullshit. I ain't doing this."
That's going to take a long time.
You need a bigger bucket.
Yeah, Well, once it gets past about 5 gallons, it gets tough to lift.
No, I don't know.
Oh, I need somebody to come out there with a damn.
Backhoe.
What I really need is the damn
New
DOT
house.
to fix my shit.
You would think that somebody with Earl would know about this kind of stuff. Just take care of it.
Well, what you got to do, you got to write a letter to tell Willie.
Now that's a good point.
See, that's how you get the ball rolling. Is you tell Willie, say, "Hey, I live on this here Westminster Highway. Are you inside or outside the city limits?"
Just outside.
Just outside the city limits, and we got a drainage issue.
Yeah.
When it rains a little bit, the drainage ain't draining.
Right. Well, last time it happened, I thought.
About moving.
Well, yeah. But I thought, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to the county office and just talk to somebody. Be like, hey, I'm not going to bitch at them, or call them bitches.
Like you'll do.
Yeah, because I want this to be cordial and I want them to fix my shit.
Sooner or later.
Right. So I went up there and I said, hey, could you help me out? Because here's what's going on. Showed them a picture of my yard. It's all flooded. I said, can you send somebody out maybe to take a look at that thing?
And they did rode by and looked at it and said, all right.
Yeah, it's flooded.
Yeah, it's flooded.
You're right. You're absolutely
And that's a good
right.
picture you took, too.
And I spent about 30 minutes up there, and this lady was looking at the map and trying to figure out where my house was. I was like, it's right there. And she said, yeah, let me find it on the map. I said, no, that's what I'm saying.
Right there. One with the water all the way around.
Yeah,
Right there.
I'm pointing at it on the map. That's my house. She said, no, I just need to find it. I said, ma'am, that's it. My finger's on it right now. Like, you don't have to keep looking. It's not, where's Waldo?
It's right there.
I got it for you. She said, sir, I just need to find it. I said, listen, bitch, what you need to do is
Fix the water problem.
So the next day, there was a crew of about 7 people out there in my yard when I went home for lunch, and I was like, who in the hell is all these guys?
7 people and 2 shovels.
And yeah, then I realized, like, oh, these guys are here to fix the problem. Unfortunately, they did not fix the problem. They just looked at the problem.
They was in the evaluation stage of their project.
And they said, I pulled in like I was going to lunch, let Willie out.
Swam over to them.
Yeah, went back over there, and I said, hey, fellas, I said, y'all need any help or anything? And
Like, what was you going to do?
nothing. I just wanted to be cordial.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to start off, be like, listen, bitch.
Yeah, grab that shovel right there. Whoa, hold on just a minute. I didn't mean all that.
He said, no, we about to get out of here. I said, oh, okay.
What'd y'all do?
He said, yeah, we inspected the pipe out here, and there ain't no blockages or nothing like that. I said, well, did you check the other end of the pipe, or did you just run a camera down, or is there a small fella in there right now? Because tell him to keep going, because he's going to run into a piece of plywood at the other end of it. They said, what do you mean? I said, the people over here keep blocking it up. I don't know what they're putting in there. Maybe they're garbage. Maybe
Small fella.
Yeah, small fella. They don't want no more. But that's kind of why this happens. He's like, So apparently they went down there and looked, and they were like, no, everything's good. I was like,
Well,
then why you got waders on? In my yard.
if everything's good.
Yeah.
Everything's good if you can swim good. I mean,
Yeah.
everything is good. But I can't
Just wear your
swim.
little floaties all the time and you're all right.
I got about 17 jet skis behind my house. I'm just going to try to fire one up and just ride it around my yard.
I'd put all 17, when it floods, put all 17 out there in it, you
Yeah.
know, and then take a picture of it, take it back up there and say, I need somebody to get these jet skis the hell out of my yard. First of all.
Yeah, there's a boat shop near my house, and I know the fella that owns it, and he said that there's boats behind the boat shop that people brought there when he opened, which was about 20 years ago. Yeah. I said, how do you have a boat and just leave it somewhere for 20 years? Maybe you don't have a place to store it. Okay. Maybe you should just leave it in the water. Or maybe you shouldn't have had it to begin with. So what happened is, I'm not saying he did this, but apparently someone dug a giant hole and put some
boats in it,
watercraft in it. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, why would you not just, I'm not advocating for it, but why would you not just scratch off the numbers and just sell that little bad boy?
Push her out in the middle of the lake like dead Indians.
I wonder things like that all the time. You go to a car shop. There's a place that's supposed to do this. You know how these people that buy these diesel trucks do all this modification. There's a place there on Coffee Road going into Walhalla where there's always about 30 trucks sitting there.
Yeah.
Some of them been there for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like you. I mean, at what point did you say, hey, I brought my truck to you back in December of 2016, and it's still sitting there. You know, you're supposed to do whatever you
And you know what the answer? They said, well, we don't really do trucks anymore. What we do now is Chinese teeth.
Yeah.
So, and it may take us a little while to get them in.
It takes at least 6 months.
So-
At least 6 months.
The answer is always, we're just waiting on parts.
Well,
Well, my God, Dad, go get them.
Well, we ain't answered. We ain't really looked for parts yet, but we're just waiting on them.
Yeah.
We're waiting on. When we look at it, and we know what parts we need. Then we're gonna need them.
you wonder, is the truck broke down and can't be moved, and they're supposed to be fixing it? Or was it running and they went and said, hey, I want you to put this modification on it.
Yeah.
Call me when you're done.
Yeah.
But the truck's been sitting there for years.
That's the risky part. Call me when you're done.
Yeah.
Not like, I need it back by next Tuesday.
Yeah, because what you hear a lot of people say that you got something that's, oh, no hurry, just, whenever you can get to it, no big deal. I got another truck, so
Yeah.
don't ever do that. Don't
No.
ever. You say, look, I got to have this thing by Tuesday at 3 because I'm going to the store.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go pick up a bitch from the vet's office. She's doing better now. Earl, you got 2 trucks sitting in your driveway, and a third one that you drive.
Correct.
You could walk out right now and fire up any of them, couldn't you?
Correct.
You think people walk by your house and say, "What the hell's wrong with that truck right there? Been sitting there years." Is that what you think they say?
Could
Truck
be.
been sitting there years.
No, it moves once in a while.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I move it around.
Oh, they just to fool them. I got you.
Just it's backed in right now. You just turn it around. You're like, I'm pulling forward. Leave it like that. Yeah.
Right now, we're supposedly waiting on Jimmy K
Uh-oh.
to come redo the brakes on the old Ford truck.
Why in the hell ain't you doing the brakes, Earl?
Because I ain't focusing with them springs and all that stuff. It's got old drum brakes all the way around.
You ain't no brake man.
No. Now disc brakes, I can put you some new pads on. That ain't no big deal.
Oh.
But you get into them drum brakes where you got them springs
Yeah.
and no, I ain't fucking with it.
Yeah. You were using hand motions right now. You could have been doing fucking Chinese sign language. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you could.
Jimmy K was supposed to be out there, like you said, what was it, about December of 16?
Yeah.
You could.
You shouldn't have told him, just whenever you get to it.
Well,
That's how we know. But
that's how you learn these things.
Yeah.
you could take a engine out of a diesel
Whoa,
truck
whoa, 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 whoa. It's
And
an engine.
put it into a car.
Lawnmower.
Well, we know that. We know you have that. But you personally have the knowledge to take it out of something, put it in something else, and make it go.
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing on Tuesday?
I'm gonna be at the diesel mechanic shop.
Yeah, I don't
trying
have
to get my truck back.
I don't have a car or an engine right now, but we'll find one.
Since we know that now.
Yeah.
So.
I remember I asked you that one time, and you were like, I could. And I was like, sweet. And you're like, but I ain't gonna. What did you do on the pit crew when you was working in NASCAR?
Well, I started off as the sign man.
Okay.
That's the guy that's got this sign on the pole, like a car number or some symbol, where they come in and they just barely bump that sign.
You didn't go over the wall.
Yeah, well, I ain't told the story yet. So they come in and they bump the sign. That's where they stop.
Yeah.
And then you reel the sign in, and then you're responsible for catching the tires that they take off.
Oh, damn.
So when they take the right side tires off and roll them to the wall, you got to catch them.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you have to hoist them over the wall or just catch
Yeah.
them? Oh, Earl, those tires weigh more than you do.
I know.
Damn.
You got to trick them.
Yeah,
It's a trick.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so did that for the first year. Mm-hmm. And then there were some changes on the team, which there always is. One old guy decided he had enough and was retiring.
Dale.
And he was what was called the catch can man. Now, for all you new people that's into modern racing, you go, what the hell is that? They don't have no damn catch can. Well, back in the day, you had the guy that put the gas in, and you had a vent tube coming out to vent the air out when the gas goes in. It had a little flapper in it, so that the gas didn't come out, just air. So you had this little catch can with a little rod sticking out. You push it in the hole, and it opens that flapper.
You was a rod man?
Yeah.
Dennis.
Yeah, and it lets the air out, and then when it gets full, gas will come out. And you can tell the gas man, hey,
Enough.
you ain't going to get no more in there.
Yeah, we good. That's all we got.
So I did that. And once they took those tires off and sent them back and on, and I got them over the wall, they realized, the guy that used to do the tires, getting them ready to go on the car, well, he's moved on too. Now we were driving from Liberty to Nashville, Tennessee, or up around Bavard, somewhere up in there. I don't remember where we were. And I kind of asked the owner. I said, the guy that always does your tires, he don't seem to be in the vehicle with us. Where's he at? His name was Jonathan. Well, Jonathan decided he wanted to do something different, so Jonathan ain't with us anymore. And I'm like, now we're on our way to Nashville, Tennessee to run a race. And the guy what's supposed to prepare the tires, which are fairly important,
You gonna need them.
he ain't with us. Now, what you gonna do about tires? See, now that turned out to be a mistake. I should have kept my mouth shut.
Yeah. Hey.
I know what they said. Oh, you look like a tire man.
That's right. So from that trip on, yes, it was the tire man too.
Yeah.
So I was responsible for getting, when Goodyear gives them to you, or you actually buy them, but they issue them to you.
Yeah.
They just got regular old air in them.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want that.
You need that special air.
You need nitrogen.
Oh.
So the first thing you got to do is if you got like 3 or 4 sets of tires, that's a lot of tires. You got to go back. You got to let all the air out of them. Now they also got an inner liner, so you got actually 2 valve stems on each tire.
Jeez.
Let all the air out.
Yeah.
You got to do it correctly, because if you don't do it right, you'll break the bead on the inner liner, and you keep that's
I'd fuck it up. I've already fucked it up. Just
yeah,
thinking about
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So anyway, you got to get all the air out, and then go back and put nitrogen back in. And of course, there's rules. NASCAR says, right side tires has got to be at least 18 pounds, and left side's got to be at least 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And they check that. So you can't just put air in them and say, oh, that looks good. You got to have the right pressure.
You got to have a gauge too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's key, gauge, key. You could even go over to Goodyear and get them to calibrate your gauge, which I do that every 4 or 5 races, just to make sure when I set it at 18, NASCAR's going to read 18 rather than 17 and a half or 18 and a half. And back in those days, you still had 5 lug nuts on the tire. They're gone to the unilug now. One.
It's just one?
Yeah. One in there. Like the old knockoffs on the old Corvettes and stuff. Anyway.
They don't have to go, They don't have to
What
do that.
the hell kind of noise is
They
that?
don't have to do that. They go,
That's right. One time.
Yeah.
But back in the day, there was 5 of them.
Yeah. Was you gluing nuts?
Yeah, I'm a nut gluing fool. you glue the nuts
That's the
onto
title
the
of the
wheel,
episode.
and you had this little piece of metal that I had made set on top of them to hold them flat.
Yeah.
So they were straight. Because if you just set them on there, if you didn't set them straight,
You
wouldn't go on.
cross
You
thread,
cross-thread 'em.
yeah, you could hurt somebody.
so I ended up being the tire specialist, catch can man.
Hey.
I was the pit. I was the guy what was kind of in charge of setting up the pits. Mm-hmm. See, when you get there, you got all this stuff in the truck. You got your big toolbox, and you seating around. Get all that stuff out and get it set up in the pits, and get everything laid out and put where it's supposed to be. And
You're the pit organizer.
yeah, I worked my ass
We
off.
should have got Earl together with Dale, because Dale got run over the pits one time.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It's on one of them tubes used.
Dale,
Watson.
Oh, we'll see if we can find it before we do
That was at was it Daytona where they was at?
I don't know, but Dale was he got hit by a car.
well,
he was,
after a while, I got to think about that because if you go back and watch old footage for all y'all younger people, when they had a catch can man, and boy, I shouldn't say this, but it's true. There's only one person on each team that's dumb enough to go out on pit road where cars are coming by at 50, 60 mile an hour, coming in and going and hopefully stopping, that you go out and turn your back to oncoming traffic.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Well, the catch can man has to. He's facing the rear end of the car, and the car in the pit stall behind you when he comes in.
Yeah.
If he were to not get stopped,
Oh, he cut you in half.
legs gone.
Why didn't the catch can man why didn't they put him on the shoulders of the gas man and just go out there
Because the gas
seesaw
man
style?
already had 20 gallons of gas on his shoulder.
But he could help hoist it, with a handle or something.
Nah.
I feel like that would be cool if we saw that.
Oh,
one.
it would be cool if you saw it, but it wouldn't be practical.
No, not at all. The whoever does that, they're like those banana boys or whatever that play baseball. They're like pretending they're playing baseball or whatever. They're just out there dancing and shit. Like they're just out there having fun, entertaining the crowd.
Me and Earl don't go to the same places you do, so
Yeah.
we don't
See,
really know
no,
what's going
You see, after it was all done and over with, and the race team, we could finally quit racing and all, you start thinking about these things, and you're like, well, why didn't somebody say, hey, instead of running that vent out the back,
Yeah.
why don't you run it out the side near the gas where you put the gas in, so you're right there with the gas man. You could help him. But nobody ever thought of that because whoever did it the first time just put it going out the rear, and
What we doing? Yeah.
that's the way
They're
you
like
do
gas
it.
comes out the rear. Damn it!
Somebody should have said, hey,
You ever seen a butthole?
it's just a vent. It don't matter where it comes out,
I think it would be hilarious if you would have suggested that back in the days. Been like, hey, why don't you, instead of doing, going out there and putting your back in danger, just hop on Dale's shoulders.
and put this bin over here. And I know what they'd have said. Well, why don't you shut the hell up and catch that tire? How about that?
Why don't you make sure we got the right PSI in here?
Did I tell you?
That
I don't
would-
know. I don't think I told y'all, but I got my ass beat this past week.
Jesus, by
Yeah,
who?
old woman.
Don't, like that's the first time that's happened.
Yeah, she beat my ass. There's down at the mailbox. There's a walking trail down through there. I said, well, went to get my mail one evening when I come home. I said, let me just go down this trail down through here.
See what's
do a little
down
walking, get a little cardio, all that stuff. Well, I went walking down through there and I smelled something. I said, what the hell's that smell? And I looked down and I done stepped in some dog shit.
Oh,
Yeah, so I said, damn. And I can't get it off. So I sit down there on the stump, get me some leaves and rub it on my shoe, and here comes this old woman. And sure enough, she steps in it too. And she looks at me, she goes, I said, I just did that. She said, son of a bitch, start beating me like hell. I said, whoa, what's wrong? She said, quit shitting on the trail. I said, wait a minute. I said, so I went and got back, took my shoe off, carried it. I put it in the trunk, just drive about 800 feet, whatever it is. Put it in the truck and stuff. Come back home. I said, I ain't going back down there no more.
you ain't going shitting on the trail no more, are you?
Don't blame you one bit. I can't say that I've ever.
Stepped
on
in
the
dog
trail?
shit? Everybody had. Don't say that. Oh.
No. I've stepped in dog shit. I've never shitted outdoors, I don't think.
You hadn't?
Well, you ain't lived yet.
Oh,
then.
well, that's what we need to do, carry you somewhere and strip your neck and put you out.
Well, I don't know if we should do that.
Speaking of that, I'll tell you the best response I ever heard from Earl. And this is, I don't know, it's ever how long ago, well, a long time ago, you know, we would go out places, you know, and
That
back
we
then,
shouldn't have been.
back then, Earl, I was going to say it's bad about drinking, but he was good at it.
Eat
so.
we go out and eat dinner.
Oh,
Quote,
yeah,
unquote.
and we go out, but then Earl sometimes did like we was quiet drinkers. We'd go somewhere and get in the corner and drink and stuff. Well, this one I don't know what happened, but somebody said something wrong to Earl or something, and Earl, usually he'd let it go, but this one night here he had bowed up.
Oh, he's ready to go. He got a pocket full of lug nuts and beat your ass with him.
and that's right. And the only problem is the guy stands up. He's about 9 feet tall, about 600 pounds. I thought, shit, Earl, you can go wrestle a damn grizzly bear right now. He's gonna eat you, Earl. And this guy standing up, Earl. And Earl finally looks up to see how big he is, and I can tell him Earl's mind. It's going through his mind. Oh, I'm gonna have to get the hell out of here. So Earl goes, all right. You know what we're going to do, don't you? And the man said, I'm going to whoop your ass. He said, we're either going to fuck or we're going to fight.
Oh.
Either way, I'm getting naked. Poor man turned around and left.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a
You
good
got
plan.
to let them know which the choice is yours.
Yeah.
We're going to do one or the other.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
That stupid bitch across the way over there, fucking her little dog thing cut me up pretty good, whatever day that was. It's still
Across from the flood.
no over there.
Oh, out here?
Yeah. It's still all
Well, what you
You
can't
got
do,
bit by a dog.
Well, he can't mitigate. What he was doing was trying to mitigate. He was trying to umpire a dog fight.
Yeah.
And he right in the middle of it. 2 dogs are fighting, and you don't get in there.
No, you let them dogs work that shit
Yeah.
out.
Well, the problem was
Because you can't talk dog, and they can. And they understand each other,
Yeah.
except for Skidlet, because he speaks Chinese. Nobody
Right.
understands his ass.
no. Earl will soon.
Yeah, that's right.
I was trying to leave here one day, and I think it was after a podcast, and there was a lady standing in the middle of the driveway talking to a lady across the street. Well, the lady in our driveway had a dog, and the lady across the way had 2 dogs.
Oh, the gang of dogs.
Yeah.
A pack. It was a pack.
So I was going to ask her politely, hey, will you get the fuck out of my way so I can leave?
Bitch.
Yeah. So I went down there and said, hey, I said, I don't want to alarm you. I said, but I'm back out of this driveway, and I don't want to hit you with my truck. So,
Bitch.
Bitch,
Yeah.
get out the way.
so she said, oh, no, that's okay. I'm sorry. She said, we were just talking. I said, it's fine. I said, I just didn't want to. Once I started backing up, I didn't want you to get startled,
And I can see you now. You can't just let it go. Oh, what a sweet little dog he is. Oh,
Right.
look at him. Oh, God, look at that bitch.
Yeah, no, he was, whatever kind of dog it was very excited that I was talking.
To him.
To anybody.
just
He just heard a voice, and he was like, uh-oh,
He
somebody
knew
else.
it wasn't hers because she's a bitch.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, so I petted him, and then the other dogs were across the street.
Hey,
got
pet
real
my eyes.
excited.
Pet
They're
my
like, "Hey,
eyes.
why ain't I getting no pets? I'm like, I'll come over here, I'll pet you, Well, these was 2 old ladies, and
The
neither.
dog wasn't that young, was it?
It's tough to tell with dogs. But apparently these ladies were like atrophying or whatever,
They doing what?
where their bones aren't that great no more, or they don't have a lot of strength. Or whatever.
Atrophy.
Yeah, isn't that what it is? Is that not the right word? They didn't drink enough milk, basically, because their bones aren't strong. So she couldn't hold the dog, right? Well, apparently the other lady also couldn't hold her dog. So these 2 dogs get loose,
Maybe it's running rampant around here. I don't know. A pathogen or whatever the hell you say.
and these dogs now they meet in the middle of the road, and they're not, maybe they're playing, but also it's still tough to tell about dogs because they don't use words; they use like sounds.
Yeah, their tails wagging and stuff.
Yeah, so they seem happy, but they also could be extremely mad. And I didn't know, so I just snatched them both up, picked them up and held them apart. And I was like, here's your dog. Here's your dog.
Where's that third dog at? Biting on your foot?
And then, no, the other one was a little bitch. He was scared. And he just kind of hunkered down and laid down. He's like, I don't want no part of that.
Big son.
That big boy picked him up. And so then they moved out of the way, and I was walking back up to my truck, and then I looked on the ground, and I was like, what's that blood right there? I looked, and it's just bleeding all down my hand, up my arm, all that shit. And I was like, what the hell happened? I think one of their collars might have got me, and I wasn't concerned about
Well, listen, what you
rabies.
What you do need to be concerned about us getting back into black, because when that happened to me, I said, "Ma'am, your dog is molesting me. Look."
Yeah.
You know, and we could have got. I bet we could have got about
$20.
I was gonna say about 28, but
If
and
she'd
we would be back in the black if you had thought about that before you went up there holding your hand up in there, blood coming down. Oh, wonder what happened. Maybe your dog collar got me.
Yeah, I should have
That
told
damn
her.
vicious dog of yours bit me.
Yeah, it got me.
Well, molested me is what he did.
Yeah.
I was minding my own business trying to hold this little fella. Here he comes.
Yeah.
Showing his ass. Tore me up.
Violently molested my hand.
Yeah.
I should have thought about that. And if she would have
And you
just...
could have asked her, hey, by the way, you got any cash on you?
Yeah, we can handle this now if you want to. Or if you want to run back to the house and get the checkbook.
We can go through we can call a lawyer. You know, so
We can get paperwork involved if you want. Or you can just fold out a couple hundreds, you know. That might have got us back in the black. But I didn't think about that. So I was bleeding, and then I was like, and now it's still, I don't know. I don't know if it's infected or what's wrong with it, but
you might have to get you one of the technical shots.
it's itching. No, I wasn't worried about the rabies or the not hepatitis.
What? Because them dogs looked like they wouldn't have rabies or something?
No, they had fancy collars.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, that negates any rabies right there, fancy collar.
So it had a fancy collar. In other words, they probably had good credit too, right?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Like Skillet, he don't have a fancy collar. He's got a little seesaw he puts on or whatever. And Willie ain't got even that. He just got a rope we just put around his neck. And if he runs too fast, it'll choke him to death. So he knows, hey, I can't go too fast. But these ladies had dog collars that had like the dog's initials like etched in them. I mean, not etched, but like, what do you call it when you do sewing shit? And
Branded. They branded them in there.
No.
Stitched.
Yeah. That's it. Embroidered. Yeah.
Stitched.
They had that, and I was like, oh shit, these dogs is fine. These house dogs.
Oh yeah.
They ain't out.
That's exactly what you thought too. Oh, look at here. Look at the collar. These dogs are rich right here. They got good credit. I guarantee you. So.
But then I was like, well, damn, I'm bleeding. I got to get this bleeding stopped. Because apparently, never mind, I forgot.
Was either one of them little dogs white?
One of them he had one blue eye.
Yeah, one blue eye.
He had another eye too, but I didn't notice what color it was. I just saw
A two-eyed dog.
I just saw the blue one, and I was like,
hey, that's pretty neat.
That's a blue
Did
eye.
you notice the blue eye before or after he bit your ass?
Before. And I was like,
well, he was white.
He was pretty white, yeah.
Did you bleed on? He got pink, huh?
Hush.
Did they tell you either one of these dogs' name?
One of them was Scott.
She giving you an alias. Ain't no damn dog named Scott. And she knew she'd get. Scott bit you. Yeah, his name's Scott. Yeah, sure it is.
I think it was probably Scout, but she had a speech impediment, so she didn't do real good at talking.
And she couldn't spell.
And then the other two dogs, the one that didn't run away from nobody was named Danger.
So he went over there taking a nap while y'all dogs were fighting.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Danger.
Seems like
Danger him waking up.
Yeah, and then the other one was named. What was that other one's name?
Jerry.
No, it was a person's name. It was like Lily or something like that.
It wasn't Earl, was it?
No.
Lily is a girl. Let me get this right. Some girl dog done bit your ass. Put it right there.
Hell, some old woman whipped your ass. So what difference?
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So there was Scott, Lily, and Danger. And I got to thinking,
They needed to fight.
the hell have I gotten myself
I wouldn't
into?
have stopped them. I'd have let them have at it.
I should have just let them go. Like, instead of picking them up and handing them back to the owners. Because they wasn't small dogs. Like, they'd probably weigh about 40, 45 pounds apiece. And when I snatched them up off the ground, both the dogs kind of looked like, oh, shit, he got us.
The big boy got us.
Big boy got us, yeah.
Yeah, I did that to Willie one day. He got loose and tried to get in the road, and I said, no. And so I snatched him up by his collar, and he walked on his back legs back to the house.
Looked like a person walking.
Yeah.
I bet people going by looked at and said, "Is that dog walking on his back leg?"
See that dog walking, that fat guy over there? And, so he don't get near the road no more. But the neighbor ladies are a couple.
The neighbor ladies?
Yeah. And they have a couple dogs that just bark all the time, you know. And I don't like that. Willie don't bark. So, but when they're outside and Willie goes outside, he wants to go over there and bark back at them and let them know, like, hey, I'm here. I live here.
I'm the big dog.
Yeah, I'm the big dog. Y'all shut the hell up over here while I'm talking.
And but he knows not to do that because, you know, I don't want you
starting to riot.
Yeah, I don't want you playing around with no neighbor dogs. You know, I don't want you getting rabies. So
unless they got a collar on, a nice collar,
an embroidered collar.
Yeah.
And but they
then
also
they might get co-sign with you. So
yeah, I could probably use that. They also have a or multiple roosters.
Now they'll get your ass. They'll attack you.
Oh, I'll fuck up a rooster. I don't give a shit.
I had one attack me one time.
What?
We was up in the mountains, of course.
See, that's the thing about this podcast, folks. You don't know what you're going to get, but
No.
whatever happens, it's happened before.
Yeah.
So,
There was this big rooster named Donald.
well, hold on a minute. How big was this damn rooster?
This son of a bitch was big.
Yeah, well, I start saying, you remember back when Maryland Fried Chicken had that big chicken on top back there? Was it that big?
That's how big he was.
Oh, my God. He was 8 feet tall.
Well, I was stooped down next to the well. I think I was wiring up the pressure switch, or
This was recent.
this was about maybe a year and a half ago.
Damn.
And yeah, Donald snuck up behind me.
You know what? He'd peck you on the shoulder and say, hey, yeah, turn around.
Yeah.
and you
that
turn around, there's
sometimes
a
started-
rooster looking you in the eye.
I started to drop old Donald right there in his damn tracks, but the little gal went to screaming and hollering and trying to get Donald
Wait a
back.
second, what little gal you talking about?
Some gal
What
was
gal
there.
well pumping with y'all?
No, she lived there.
Oh,
She needed her well pumped.
Yeah.
Or she needed to be pumped well. Right?
Could be.
But okay. So
and you was up there with a rooster.
so the rooster Donald has now snuck upon you.
Yeah.
He looked at you and said, hey.
And decided he didn't like me being there.
No, it wasn't you being there. He just didn't like you.
Well,
Have you ever thought about that?
That's quite possible.
Well, see?
But anyway, that's
So he pecked you on the shoulder and said, listen, I'll whoop your ass.
yeah, he said,
And then what happened, Earl?
we got issues.
Yeah.
Get on out of here now. Go back where you came from.
Yep.
And what'd you tell him? Well, I ain't fixed your well pump yet.
Yeah, we ain't got water flowing just yet, you big dumbass rooster.
So what'd you holler at that little girl and say, hey, little girl, can you come get your rooster? Is that what you told her?
Yeah, pretty much. I said, I'm fixing to blow his shit away.
I could
Was
actually.
you going to shoot the little girl's rooster?
Damn right I was.
Oh, hell, Earl. Let me get all this right. I want to make sure I'm understanding it. So you on somebody else's property messing with their well pump, and this big rooster comes up behind you, and you tell, and the little girl says, oh, mister, that's my rooster. Don't shoot my rooster. I'm going to shoot your damn rooster. You better get this rooster. Bring a rope and get this rooster away from me. Is that what you said?
Pretty much.
And she drug the rooster back to the house.
She came.
And remembering his name was Donald.
Yeah,
She came out there with
the
an
rooster.
embroidered collar and put it on Donald and took him
Yep.
back to the house. Yeah, dog. That's a big old rooster. You said, you sure it wasn't a goose?
I'm pretty sure it was a rooster.
Well, the reason I know that my neighbors have a rooster, at least one, is because that sumbitch wakes up about 4 in the morning. And he don't shut the fuck up.
Until about 10.
No, ever. He just like so I got up this morning. I was atrophying or whatever, and I was hurting. So I went to the front bedroom, laid down, and I can hear him more prevalently in there.
You move so you hear him better.
No, I moved because I was hurt. But the problem is now in my bedroom, I got.
He come to your window and just look in there at you. He's sleeping and start doing cock-a-doodle.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't quit mooing or whatever they do. You know,
Mooing.
But so I went in there. In my bedroom, I got a ceiling fan, a bed jet, a floor fan, and a window unit going.
And
And a dehumidifier.
Yeah, so I can't hear shit. You know, I'm gonna find out if somebody breaks in when they're like, hey, you know, wiggling me to wake me. Hey, wake up!
man, I'm here.
I'm coming to take all your shit. I'm like Santa? No, but so in the front room, I can hear this rooster better, and I hear him start mooing at about I don't know, 3:30. And I'm like, why? It's not time. Like I thought,
daylight yet.
I thought you did this when you saw the sun. Like you just think the moon is the sun, and you never stop mooing. So he kept doing it, and then finally at about 5:15, I was like, all right. Now I'm in my head about it. I'm like, all right, I got to get on up. One, I'm hurting, so I need to start moving. But two, I'm tired of hearing this little sumbitch talk.
He needs to start moving. Did you hear him?
So I
Try that. Move back at him.
No. I could do that. Oh, what I could do is I could get an air horn and just sneak out there, like on the backside of my house, and every time he does it, just hit that air horn real quick.
I'll do that.
And then see how pissed the neighbors get about that.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Because I don't think they have any chickens.
Just got this one rooster.
One that I know of. So what is the point of having a rooster? He ain't laying no eggs.
I hope not, or it ain't a rooster.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have to ask him. Maybe.
Were you thinking this rooster just walked up one day and said, hey, I believe I'll live here and just start living there?
I have no idea. But why would you have one?
Well, they might not have one. He might have them. I mean,
Maybe
he might say, I'm just going to stay here and live.
Maybe they just needed a friend or something. I don't know. But anyway, so about 5:15 this morning, I decided.
You said it's two women live there?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Two women, they need a rooster, don't they?
No, you don't want to go there.
Pretty sure they're not a fan of him, but, you know, whatever. They got him or he got them. So I was like, all right, 3 more moves and I'm going to get up. And sure enough, he moved one time. And then about a minute later, he moved again.
And you starting to wiggle around like I'm going to get up.
And I'm
here.
like, all right, let me get on up. I know he's.
Get my feet out of the bed. Where's that other moo at? Whoa, I got to stop here. Whoa.
And then.
Come on, rooster, move.
That third moo didn't come. And I was like, well, what in the hell is he doing? Did he fall asleep? And it was about 30 minutes. And I was about to doze back off. I was like, all right, well, I already planned on the third moo. I'm getting up. And he didn't. So I'm about to doze off. And then I hear him chirp again. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill that rooster.
He just messing with you now.
I'm gonna shoot that rooster. And then there was the other neighbor has a bunch of cats, about 14 cats. And
so let me get this right. You got one neighbor that's got a rooster on one side, and you got another neighbor that's got 14 cats on the other side.
Yeah, and one's got 2 dogs,
Huh?
and some's got dogs.
Well, yeah, the rooster neighbor has a couple dogs. Yeah.
Oh,
So they ever commingle? Do you know of?
I don't know. I'm not taking tickets or like checking them at the door or whatever. Maybe they do. I don't know. But
Cats don't like birds, do they? Rooster, hens, other stuff.
cat will eat a bird.
Yeah.
no, maybe that would solve some problems.
A dog will eat a cat.
Well, first of all,
I don't know if a rooster will eat a dog or not.
Well, I don't know. But cats.
Rooster tried to eat you.
Yeah.
Donald tried to eat you.
Cats don't like water, so you have to get that flood taken care of first. Then they
That flood might be what's keeping them out of your yard. You get rid of the flood, they'll be all in your yard.
Well,
And then really it'll go ape shit.
this morning one of them was in my yard, but kind of in my yard. It's kind of behind the house.
Cat or the rooster?
Huh?
A cat or a rooster?
A cat, sorry, yeah. And it was laying on a pile of cinder blocks that somebody needed for some fucking reason 40 years ago, and they're like, I better keep these right here.
All 8 of them.
Yeah. And so, so it's laying there, and Willie, is looking at it, and he's like,
Nah, he don't belong here.
I can get
I'll
over
get
there.
your ass.
Yeah, he's like, I can get over there. But then he's kind of judging his rope, and he's like, maybe I can't. And so
If be real quiet, he can get a little closer.
I'm getting,
Come over here.
yeah, I'm getting him back in the house, So I put Willie back in the house. I had to throw some trash away, so I went out there, and the trash can is on the back side of the house, about 20, 30 feet from where this cat's hanging out. When the cat ain't moving, it's being a little arrogant, little bastard, little bitch. And so I decided, I'm gonna make you move. If I start walking toward it, it may, wander off or what. I said, no. So
I'm throwing something in his
I
eye.
picked up a couple rocks. I picked up 2, thinking I might need them. I only needed 1.
There you go.
Because I'm a pretty damn good 3-point shooter. And that was about the distance that I had to throw this little rock. I say little rock, it was probably about 3 pounds.
3 pounds.
Damn, that was a boulder. That wasn't a rock. You might have picked up one of the cinder blocks.
Well, the cat was on him. I didn't want to, disturb him or whatever. So I threw my trash away, and I let the lid slam down on the trash can, thinking, that'll start
And he perked his ear up, looked at you, didn't he?
Didn't move a muscle. He's just sitting there looking like a little bitch. He's just like, He's like, I see you,
He looked at you
fat.
and said, try it, big boy. Just try
Yeah.
it. See what happens.
Well, then he's not paying attention because now he thinks, he's going to get in his truck. He's leaving. I'm going to stay right here. And so I turn around. I said, swish. Threw that rock. I didn't launch it directly at him as hard as I could, but I hoisted it in the air so it would,
Never was doing that.
hit it right on the fucking head. That cat got up, darted off. I was like,
What the hell was that?
yeah, don't come.
That rooster hit me?
Yeah, don't come around here. You ain't got to worry about that big dog. He got a rope. He can't get to you. I get your ass. I get your ass from the 3-point line. You don't want none of this smoke, you little bitch.